what is culture? And we think of our organization a lot about where does sport and culture meet? Like, what is that zone where sport and culture meets? Here we are in the Greater Toronto area, one of the most multicultural places in the world. And like, how does what players in your locker room bring to the locker room? And how does us as coaches, what we bring to the locker room, what's the formula? What's the magic potion in there? So this is what we think of as culture. And this is the stuff that we think about as an organization. Like, what is monoculture? Is monoculture susceptible? Is it sustainable in the long term? It might be a place to reflect about where like Hockey Canada is right now. What is a permaculture? It could be stronger, definitely more complicated, vibrant, and creative. What is a dominant culture versus cultures of collaboration? So when we go to countries like Kazakhstan or Tajikistan or India, or do we go up north into some of the remote indigenous communities in northern Canada, like, what does collaboration look like?
We're there in Kuala Lumpur.
Yeah,
like 2 weeks.
Yeah, our next clinic is in Kuala Lumpur with a young coach from Kingston, Ontario. So, we talk about what is collaboration and how much that can add to all the work that we do. All of it sort of sits in this place of cultural safety and humility. People from all backgrounds, with all backgrounds, can feel respected and safe, spiritually, socially, emotionally, and physically. So again, I ask the question, like, how are you doing as a coach, spiritually, socially, emotionally, and physically, as you enter into your seasons? The X's and O's are amazing and important, and there's so much great stuff going on. But I hope all of us can take time and build in some tools as we get into the locker room that we're ready and present for our players.
And this is a little bit about like what we do and how we do it, but the big question often is why we do it. And for me, why I am taking on this challenge, for you to understand, I think you need to know a little bit about my story. And one of the questions I was asked before this talk was, what's your proudest moment in hockey? And nobody has ever really asked me that. And it got me reflecting on what was that moment. And that moment was when I was picked in midget AAA, when the coach now, like ex-coach of the Columbus Blue Jackets, Pascal Vincent, coach of the Laval Rockets, brought me in the corner of the ice, and he's like, "Kid, you're in the team." And that led to the best hockey season of my life. And why? Because Pascal empowered us to be ourselves on the ice and off the ice, to have confidence in your skills. And like I just said, it was the best hockey year in my life. And at the end of the year, I was ranked top prospect to get drafted in the Q, which I eventually was picked first overall in an expansion team. And just before that happened, I was signing a contract with an agent that had, this is Robert Sauvé, that had Patrick Roy and Vincent D'Anfous and Pierre Turgeon. And here I was in the office, and I remember like something he said to me, I'll never forget it, and I think it's so fitting now that we're doing this organization. He goes, "Je sais pas trop si tu vas faire de quoi dans la vie avec le hockey, toi."
I don't know what you're going to be doing, with your life in hockey.
Mais j'ai l'impression que tu vas changer de quoi, tu vas avoir un bon impact sur la game.
But I know that you're going to have a big impact on the game.
Thanks, Freddie. So see, at that time, you're 15, I'm like, you don't think I'm going to play in the show? You're signing me here, like, but then, see, at that time, that's what you think, and then today it makes sense. But after that year, for me, that's when hockey became something else than hockey.